Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the official first episode of Book the Finish. I am one third of your host and the most handsome out of the three of us, David. Here I'm joined by my two great friends, my two best friends, Derek and Anthony. We are what we like to call ourselves Book the Finish. Boys, I'll let you guys introduce yourselves.
What's going on, everybody? My name is Derek. Let's get this rolling. You guys will see what I'm about.
Yeah, same here. I give it 2 minutes so you guys get an idea of what I'm gonna bring to the table.
Just a little quick little reintroduction for those of you who aren't familiar with us. We've had podcasts before that died out just based off the sense of the business kind of sucked at the time. It was hard to do it. But three of us now, we're back, better than ever, ready to get this going, get
It's
this
been
started.
3 years.
It's been a minute. It's been a
It's
minute.
crazy.
It's been a minute. It's been a minute. So we can jump right into it real quick. Um, this past Saturday, day of recording is July 16th on a Wednesday. Past Saturday, we had a big day in WWE world. It was a twofer. You had Great American Bash in the early afternoon. You had the Saturday night main event in the late afternoon. We'll talk about the importance of that real quick. And Saturday night main event, boy, did it suck. A lot of big stories to come out of it rather than what we expected. And the biggest one being Seth Rollins and what's next for Seth Rollins. Obviously, we saw it was that whole lion salt kind of spot that he normally does. Landed a little funky, and match ended 2 minutes after that. And going into Monday, what's what's going on with Seth Rollins? So, a lot of stories going on. He might be out for the next 5, 6 months. People think it's kayfabe. Boys, what are we thinking?
I think it's. I don't think it's real. Honestly, I really do think that this is part of the story for him to cash in at SummerSlam against Cena. Honestly, because I
Cena.
think that that has the potential to be a lot cooler of a story than him cashing in on Gunther. That's just my 2 cents. I think Gunther is a good champion. I think that he is doing a good job, and I don't think he necessarily needs to be in a feud with Seth in order to make that. Seth Cena is much more polarizing to me than Seth Gunther,
So
in
you
my
have
opinion.
so you have Cena retaining
I
for the
it,
cash in.
dude, it could be WrestleMania all over again.
Okay.
Although we just had that,
Yeah.
we'll get into that. Although we just had that, it could be that way again. Um,
Okay.
but that's just my 2 cents.
I think this injury is real. At the end of the day, I think LA Knight. At the end of the day, when you're in the ring with somebody and you have a chance to win, babyface or heel, you're going to take that opportunity to win, right? I know how WWE books their babyfaces to be the dumbest people in the room, but you could tell from LA Knight's like reaction that this was definitely real. And somebody like Seth Rollins, the way that match went, that just doesn't happen often. If this is a swerve and this is kayfabe, then once again, bravo Triple H for being unpredictable. But history shows that Seth Rollins is his history of injuries pertaining to his lower body has been occurring often. It gets to the point where I start considering if he should do the Steve Austin route and change up his entire um like package, pause, and like in a wrestling form, obviously. But his move set, there you go.
There you go. There you
I
go.
couldn't get the word out. But overall style and move set. So at the
Yeah, I mean, one of the rare times you guys are going to see me agree with Anthony here in the sense of this injury has to be real. Different things are involved in it. Again, you see the way the match ended itself. I mean, I don't think I've ever seen somebody this pissed off to be a winner. The way LA Knight was, like LA Knight
yeah,
looked
yeah.
annoyed at the fact that he won the match, and again, it just could be a testament of how good of a locker room guy he is. Where it's like shit, like one of my guys is hurt, and I was in a ring with it, and again. just I don't know LA Knight personally. You know, he might be one of those guys that feels like shit. Like I might be at fault of this. Where again, it's a freak incident. Um, it's got to be real, and I feel like again, I feel like Raw as a whole, like I feel like that gauntlet match was kind of just thrown together rather quickly in the sense of I don't think it was kind of pre-planned. Like especially knowing that Seth Rollins had the Money in the Bank briefcase, you're not going to throw Braun Breaker in a match to to fight a world champion. I feel like if they're gonna start the demise of this weird group that they have going on right now, this is way too early. Um, I still want to give it some time to cook. Yeah, people hate it. People hate Paul Heyman and Seth Rollins together. People hate the fact that this group hasn't done anything worth noting other than being three massive figures, both figuratively and literally, minus Seth Rollins' frail frame, and arguably one of the greatest wrestling minds of all time, Paul Heyman. So you have a group that on paper looks to be almost like damning in the sense of like, oh my God, like these guys are characters and hasn't been brought anywhere. But I digress. Going back to the initial point, yeah, I feel like it was thrown together. I feel like it was kind of an emergency situation where it's like, okay, what's our pivot? What's our pivot? What's next? You know, again, Roman Reigns is gonna come and do his thing, but what's the pivot? So, what do you guys think is the pivot? What's the pivot for Seth Rollins? What's going to happen? Are they gonna sit on the Money in the Bank briefcase for 6 months like they say he's gonna be out for? Or are they gonna figure something out early?
So, Derek, I'll go first because I'm gonna keep it short. This is an instance in which I like to be right all the time. I know all three of us. We always like to deem us as the smartest one in the room and like to think that we know more than the people that's booking the shit themselves. I don't know what they're gonna do. This is the first time, and it's unfortunate because of an injury. Like I can't tell you the last time where an injury didn't play a role in which a story had me wondering what's gonna happen next. But an injury like this leaves me really wondering, like, what's going to happen here. Because Triple H, as it's been reported by several news outlets and, all these wrestling insiders, Triple H does not like or care for the Money in the Bank briefcase. It doesn't really mean anything to him as much as it used to WWE. Now, with his main guy, who he loves very much, hurt with a briefcase, an object in which he doesn't really care about, because we all know he was cashing in at SummerSlam to get it out the way. I really don't know what he does. I really don't. And it's actually the intriguing part, right? It's like, can they implement the Freebird rule? Can they do something? I don't know, right? This is an instance in which I'm actually happy that I don't know what's going to happen. I'm not happy at the reason why I don't know what's going to happen, if that makes sense.
Going off of that, if the injury is real, which it's very highly possible. That could be why Roman came back on Monday. They needed something immediate to happen.
Okay.
That's the only reason why, because prolifically in Roman's career, when he's come back, hasn't been on a weekly show. It's been a PLE.
Okay.
The
I can see
original,
that.
the when he first came back as the wreck everyone and leave, SummerSlam,
Yeah.
with the match between
The Fiend
the
and
Fiend
Braun.
The
and
Fiend
Braun.
And Bronson.
And
I
then
mean Braun Strowman.
a week later they had Payback, which is a wild thing to do, but this whatever.
COVID, baby, COVID.
The next time Roman came back from time off
With SummerSlam.
was at a SummerSlam.
OTC. Yeah.
And then the next time that Roman comes back is on Raw.
OTC one.
Okay.
Roman is I don't think it's OTC one. I just think it's TC one. Because that makes sense. Because really quickly to go on that, what is Cody? QB1.
The American Nightmare. The American
QB1.
Nightmare. Ah.
It doesn't make sense to have OTC one.
Okay, that makes sense.
Okay.
Because why are you going to be
Super
original
corny,
tribal
but that
chief?
makes sense.
Okay, Derek, listen, I agree with the fact that every time Roman came back, it was a PLE, and wow, what a coincidence, it's now Raw because Seth got hurt. I don't think that's the case, bro. I think they were going towards Seth's faction versus Roman LA Knight and Jey Uso in a 6-man tag team match. I really think that was
I did yeah.
right. I do, but I think WWE realized after Evolution and after Saturday Night's main event, shit, we have 2 weeks left. I don't think it was because of the injury. I think if Seth and LA Knight had a perfect match and Seth won, which was planned, and he was perfectly healthy, I still think he was coming back Monday because they have to hit the reality button, dude. We have 2 weeks left.
I don't
I
think so
think
because they could have worked that in a way where it was a tag team match and
Oh,
they had
special.
to find
Oh,
they had to
come on.
find they had to find somebody. That's
Come on.
dude.
Come
You're
on.
thinking you're thinking
That's too
too
predictable. Too
you're
boring.
you're thinking too Voodoo Kin Mafia. We got to think more TKO in where we are. That is a TKO booking. That's not a Voodoo Kin Mafia booking. That's a TKO booking.
So you had him returning at SummerSlam.
Yes.
Okay.
all right. So there's not beside going off of like ignore the whole SummerSlam thing. I think this whole agreement that they did with Peacock in bringing back Saturday Night Main Event has killed a lot of the booking.
Yes.
Because now I just feel like everything is like there's no reason you have two quote unquote major shows, right? In a
There's two
month.
PLEs. There's two
Yes.
PLEs,
You have two exactly. You have two major shows in a month. On top of that, you have to put on a good go home show
and you have a Saturday night
before
main event every
before each
quarter.
show. Yes. You did before each show. Again, it's that's a lot of booking. I think that's why again
Yeah.
it's not for nothing. That's why we've probably gotten a lot of like really good go home Friday night SmackDown, and a lot of those SmackDowns being better than the actual pay-per-view because you got a
Yeah.
lot of the
Yeah.
matches that people want to
Yeah.
see on that go home show.
You know, and
Um,
we've heard Derek talk about this on how there's so many titles, but not a lot of them are being defended on pay-per-views. That's what Saturday Night's main event was supposed to be for, right? And that's what go home shows are for these PLEs, is because we can't fit all the matches, all the title matches on these cards. We got to make these matches and these events special.
I
But
agree. Like you don't want to defend your major title on weekly episodes, but you put it on Saturday main event. Cool, don't do that. And give me a legit storyline for the mid card.
yeah,
Give me a legit
yes,
story. Like if that's what you want, dude, give me the last 45 minutes of every single episode about the world title. That's fine. Give me the bulk of the episode about your mid card and about your women's wrestling and about your tag team wrestling. Give me
The
that,
mid card.
and I'm cool. I'm cool. Make me care about the mid card again, because you know how like I have to genuinely think hard sometimes. Like, wait, who's the U.S. champ? Oh
yeah.
shit, wait, like right, like U.S. champ. I can't. I know Dom's the Intercontinental champion. Who's the U.S. champion right now?
Solo. I just found out that
Thank
he
you. So
defended
you're like,
it. I just found out he
it's one of
defended
those
it
things.
against Jimmy. He
Yeah.
defended it
Yeah,
against. I didn't even know
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
it's one of those things. It's
Yeah.
hard to care when they're not doing it correctly. So you just make like, and again, it's no fault on Solo, no fault on Jimmy,
No, no.
and this you could attest to just them being booked so well that they didn't need the title, that the title just got thrown in there.
And the
It
mid
is what it
card
is.
of WWE right now is stacked.
Yeah.
Yes.
There are so
Yes.
the roster is riddled with talent. How about we do a storyline again? Big Stan, Karrion Cross, reign of terror across the entire mid card. What was he outside of WWE, David?
Killer
No way.
Cross.
Killer
He
Cole.
was he was he was a
He was.
serial killer.
Yeah.
He how did he come into NXT? Did you know who did you know how he came into NXT? Do you remember how he came into NXT?
I remember he was in the background for a lot of stuff.
He jumped. The first thing that you saw of Karrion Cross happened 4 weeks after he started jumping people. First person he jumped was Tommaso Ciampa,
Yeah.
and then randomly people
Yes.
were just dropping like flies,
Yeah, yeah.
which is exactly what he was doing outside of WWE.
That's right.
Oh,
And then
and that's
he
how he got introduced
debuted.
to TNA. That's
Yes,
exactly
that's
how
how.
he got
And then
I
he
believe
Yep.
Petey
debuts.
Williams was his first victim. Petey Williams was his first victim.
Yes, and then he debuts, and he was a world beater. He was the hottest thing in NXT, and then he won the championship. And as for every NXT champion at that time, you have a good match, you got injured. It's exactly what happened in NXT. You had a good match, you got injured. You had to relinquish the title. That's how it worked in NXT for a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
If anybody doesn't know, that's what pre 2.0 did to everybody.
Yeah.
Um,
Uh, just to we kind of killed two birds with one stone as far as what we want to talk about there. We talked about Seth's injury and also the current state of WWE. But what I don't want to get overshadowed is this awesome pay-per-view we had on this past Sunday, Women's Evolution, which I mean, by all accounts, I'm not, and I'm the shirt was by accident, but by all accounts, I mean, are you probably a top three pay-per-view WWE's put out this year, or actually PLE, excuse me, if they put out this year.
it might
Um,
have been the best PLE that they put on this year.
It wasn't better
yeah,
than Chamber.
no, yeah, I think Elimination Chamber is still number one.
Okay,
This and that Worlds Collide with AAA is up there for me.
those
Those
are
I
top
felt
three.
like those two
Okay,
are
I'll
very
take that.
solid.
I'll take that. I'll take that. Yeah, Evolution. The last time that we had an Evolution PLE was in 2018. And back then it was that was a good one too. Um,
Yeah.
a lot of the when you give people enough time in a match to tell a story is where everything makes sense. And
Yes.
having a women's based event to highlight the killers that are in the women's division. To highlight the people who are coming up
Yeah.
is essential. And what is not being done in the men's division is that.
Yeah.
So really quickly, to start the night off, it was the Intercontinental Championship match that could have easily headlined the entire show.
I'm not gonna lie
Between
to you, just not to cut you off, I'm sorry.
Yeah, you're fine.
WWE and triple threat matches over the last 3 years have just been like insane.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's
Right.
been ridiculous on
Yeah.
how great these triple threat matches from NXT to main roster.
Yes.
Men, women, tag team, it does not matter. These triple threat matches have all been incredible. These multi-man matches have stolen every single show that's been on.
And nobody looks weak. Nobody looks weak
At all.
in the
At
triple
all.
threat match.
At
The,
all.
the, really quickly, and I'm getting really off topic. The triple threat match at WrestleMania.
Both of them.
Yeah, we can
Both of them.
like yeah. Yeah. Like
Io,
it's
The
it's
two best matches.
phenomenal.
Io was the smallest person in that match, and the build up, she was the smallest part of that match. Io is probably the best wrestler in WWE.
Yes. You can argue she
Bell
might be
to
the best
bell,
wrestler in the world.
bell to bell.
She's easy the greatest wrestler in
But
the world.
we're
Women's
getting
wrestler in the
we're
world.
getting
You can argue it.
yes, we're getting really off topic. Becky Lynch, Lyra Valkyria, and Bayley.
Lyra
These
Stock, man.
Lyra is working at a different level. Becky is Becky. You want to call her Becky Hogan, you want to call her Becky Lynch, you want to call her Big Time Bex, whatever you want. You cannot deny that Becky Lynch is money.
I think when she's a
Yep.
heel, it's her best in-ring work.
She's the best heel.
Right? When
She's
she's a heel, her matches are 10 times better.
She might be the best
Yep.
heel.
Yeah.
Yep.
When she turns heel, it's crazy
Yeah.
the level that she performs at.
100%.
And then Bayley, who is a solid competitor.
She and Finn Balor are in the same realm of wrestler where you love them, you want them to be great, and it's unfortunate that they're always going to be the first fall man.
Right.
No matter what. No matter what, they're going to be the first fall, and it sucks. It sucks 'cause coming into it, like bro, like those were the two you wanted. Those
Yeah.
were the two you
Yes.
wanted.
Yes.
Coming out
Yes. That's
like
right.
I'm sorry, out of
Yeah.
your four horsewomen, I'm sorry, everybody, well, besides Sasha, everybody loved Bailey. Everybody
Yep.
loved Bailey. Charlotte had the rub of her father. It took Becky Lynch
A
some
lot.
time to become Becky Lynch.
Yeah.
Becky Lynch needed to get her face broken.
Yeah.
Yeah, Becky Lynch needed to get her face broken. Becky Lynch needed to turn heel, and her turning heel made her undeniable. We're gonna be honest. But no,
Yeah.
yeah, like Bailey she's the one. She's the one, and no matter you can put her in any situation, she's always gonna thrive. She's one of those few people you can give her anything, she's gonna make it work.
You know what I call her? You know what I call her? Her and Finn Balor? Oh, reliable.
Yeah,
Yeah.
fortunate, and that's
It's unfortunate, but
they're Yes,
yes,
they're
yes,
too safe. They're too safe in the business. That makes
Yeah.
sense.
Yep.
and I
Those are the
really,
people that will always have a job.
I really just want to really hammer this point home. Lyra Valkyrie is different.
She
Yeah.
is.
When she first came in, when she was in NXT, we had this conversation a lot. Me and David, you were included in that as well, Anthony, where it was weird watching her wrestle for a while because
She
she works like a big person. Like she works how I think Nia Jax should work. Just she works a big man style. And then she came to WWE, or she came to the main roster, and over the course, I believe she's been on the main roster for a year.
Yeah.
yes.
I believe to about a
I
year,
wrestle after WrestleMania weekend.
and
Yep.
slowly she's been dialing it back to be more athletic, where she doesn't need to be big. And really, I think what really put her in a different class was the match that she had with Dakota
Mm.
For the title. Yes.
For the Intercontinental Championship.
Yeah.
The two matches that they had together. The first match where I thought Dakota died
Mm-hmm.
with that freaking crazy
Yeah.
suplex onto the floor.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Yes. Yes.
Insane. I thought her back was done. And then the match that they had the following week, they ran it back. Both matches phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
Best match of Dakota's career. She shouldn't have been let go, in my opinion. That's
I
another story
agree.
for another day. We'll get to that. But Lyra is just a different type of competitor now,
And
and it is phenomenal to see.
yeah, and listen, I think what took away, like the main takeaway from that opener, was the finish. That was probably one of the best counters, or whatever you want to call it,
That
because
Mm-hmm.
that is one of the greatest pins I've ever seen ever.
that was great.
Like that was just like freaky. Like oh shit, like what just
Yeah,
happened?
what just happened?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, what? Wow. Yeah, that was great.
And,
It was,
It was quick.
in a sense, and again, and I'm a big proponent on great matches should not end in a roll up. Like I want to see a great finish. I don't want like it's very few times where like unless it's two really good technicians where a roll up kind of makes sense. But in a
like,
match
yeah,
that was like this, where it had one a good story and two there's three great in ring competitors, like roll up shouldn't happen. But that counter and the way the counter happened, it happened all at once and so quick where it didn't feel abrupt and it didn't feel like wait like this is the end of the match where it was like oh this
Yeah.
is cool. Like it was like a cool finish pin, finishing pin. To backtrack on Lyra, I can speak on Lyra. I feel like she might be. I don't know if you guys remember Queen of the Ring finals against Nia Jax. The way she took that Annihilator, insane,
that was
like
crazy. That was
absolutely
crazy. Yeah,
insane.
yeah.
Where even and again, and we all talked about it before. The three of us love Corey Graves. The dude turned into one of us. As soon as Nia just jumped down, thank her body weight on Lyra, just I feel like everybody had the same reaction, the same oh, the same wow, the same like jaw dropping. Holy shit, this happened.
Mm-hmm.
Um, that's the first match of the night. That's like, and that just shows right there how great of a pay per view this was. Match number two, the singles match, NXT Women's Championship match. I mean, the biggest takeaway. I feel like everybody coming into it just knowing how the WWE works. Once Jordan Grace asked for Blake Monroe to be in her corner, I think we kind of all knew how this was going to end. If it wasn't Jordan Grace winning it and then turning her to Blake Monroe or Blake Monroe turning on Jordan Grace, it was going to be something along those lines. I feel like that was a very predictable match, predictable outcome. You know, listen, shout out JC Jane, man, keeping the pace. You know, this is Jordan Grace's first big like singles
Test.
match in
Yeah,
Yeah.
NXT as an NXT competitor,
yeah,
and
and I don't think she be.
On a
I don't think.
stage,
And I don't
on a
think she
stage
should
stick.
be. I don't think she should be there any longer. I think the way this
I
match
agree.
ended, I think the way this
I
match ended,
agree.
she's going to be there for quite a while.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yep.
But at the same time, too, it's one of those things where it's a double-edged sword. Where I don't want to say she's too good to be down there because there's a lot of great talent in NXT, and I'm not going to overshadow anybody down there. But
We're about to
it's
get
one of
into
those,
it.
yeah, it's one of those things now where like on the main roster, where does she fit in? You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Where can you hide? Is she like
Oh,
Jordan Grace is
easily.
a great? Is it though? Like Jordan Grace is one of those people where she's a polarizing figure. You look at her, she's huge in a good way. But at the same time, where does she fit in? Like, does she fit in this? Is the women's U.S. title scene against Julia? Does she fit in on the women's
Yes.
IC title
Yes.
scene? I
No.
don't.
Yes.
I
Yes.
still
U.S.
think.
title. U.S.
I
title.
still think. I still think there's still some people down on SmackDown that can give Julia a good, decent enough test.
I dare you tell me who. Spill the
But
names.
you
I
still
dare
got
you.
you, Candice LeRae. Tell me I'm wrong. Candice LeRae. All right.
I
Yes,
love
Chelsea Green.
I love Candace, bro. But come on. Come on.
So
Lash Legend is gonna come up. I feel like I'm bringing up Lash Legend before I bring up Jordan Grace. I'm sorry. That's my personal opinion. Lash Legend has been on fire for too long and hasn't gotten the recognition.
okay,
Um,
so really quickly, let me just say this: everybody in the women's division that has come into NXT or WWE has been overshadowed by one person who we are going to talk about later, and that is La Primavera,
yes.
Stephanie Vacquier. That is why Julia is not as over as she should have been.
Yes.
We've had this conversation prior to this podcast.
Yep.
But getting back to to this match specifically, Jordan Grace is on in my opinion, Jordan Grace should have never went to NXT.
I agree.
She should have went straight to WWE. I'm
I
sorry.
agree.
So
I understand it's a different type of style. She could have turned around and said, "No, I want to be in NXT."
Yeah, of
I
course.
so
Completely on her
so
prerogative. Completely on her
I
prerogative.
think
And if she did,
I
I commend her for doing it the right way. Exactly what Stephanie did. Exactly what Julia did. Because
do you know
the three of them are that good. They are that good.
you wanted her in NXT though. You needed her in NXT because that was the best woman. That's
No,
in my opinion.
I
That's still the best women's division in wrestling.
I'm not knocking that either.
No, it's not.
Yes, it
Who's better?
is.
Who's better?
What the Raw women's division is doing now with the inclusion of Naomi and what Becky Lynch is doing for that Intercontinental Championship on Raw, Raw is taking the crown right now.
But to what you're saying, where does she fit in that?
Oh
She
no no
doesn't.
no no no! You're right. You're right. In the sense
She
of like
doesn't fit
that.
in.
That's why when David asked where does she fit, I couldn't answer because she doesn't fit.
She
But
doesn't. She doesn't fit there.
to say that NXT right now is the best women's division.
NXT
Who's
has
the
some
NXT? Who's the NXT Women's North American Champion?
Soruka.
So Ruka.
Okay, and
I
who's
can
she in
tell
a
you
feud
that
with?
And who she
right
what?
right now
Izzy Dane.
she's not.
Izzy Dane. Izzy Dane, Pat, and Tatum
Yes.
Paxley.
Yes.
Is it a
Like
good feud?
and Fatal. She's like
And
she's in like three different
she's
little feuds right now.
yeah.
And
Okay,
Fatal
and
Influence. You
There's a
got
lot going on because she's also in a tag team,
do
yeah
you understand that
and
Raw?
she's also the speed champion.
Do you understand
yeah.
that Raw Women's Division is literally probably the only sole reason why I would watch Raw?
And
I
that's
mean,
understandable.
And
is it
that just shows that
I understand
it's the
that
best division. If that
because you
division,
watch it.
no, it's because it's the best part of the show. If
And I'm not saying no.
Stephanie Valquer is on Raw, and she don't even hold the title. That's how stacked the
Right.
Raw Women's Division is.
Right.
Okay, so how's NXT's division better?
I understand. David's the one who said it.
Oh, all right. Just want to make sure. Okay. I disagree. I think what Raw, like what especially what
Listen, I'm
happened
not.
on this card alone, Raw's women's division, and if you want to count Judgment Day, because they're a tag team, Raquel and Roxanne.
We're gonna get into
We're gonna get
all
deep,
of
yeah.
this in
Yeah,
this
yeah,
in
yeah.
the next match that we're about
Yeah,
to talk
yep,
about.
yep, yep,
Yeah,
yep,
like
yep.
well,
Which was
we're jumping to it right now. Yeah, Judgment Day,
which
Raquel
was
Rodriguez, Roxanne Perez. Which, by the way, Roxanne Perez, you ever look at me that way in your entrance ever again, I might have to jump to my TV screen. Um, yeah, Judgment Day, Raquel Rodriguez and Roxanne Perez defeat Charlotte Flair, Alexa Bliss, Soruka Zarya, and the Kabuki Warriors. Um,
Listen,
fun
listen,
match, fun
listen,
match.
listen. As long as you two know me, you guys know that I'm not the biggest Charlotte Flair fan, and I haven't been the biggest Alexa Bliss fan. What
Hunter
Alexa
has made me
Bliss?
care about the both of them. Hunter has made me care about the
Yeah,
both of them.
yeah. There you
I
go.
can't
There you
anymore.
go.
I
Listen,
can't. Look,
listen, listen. And look, being away for maybe a year when Alexa Bliss came back at the Rumble, she had the biggest pop. We were there.
Mhm.
We go every year, in case you guys don't know. Besides next year, for obvious reasons. Listen. Sorry, I just had to throw that in there. Oh man, sorry. Anyway, Charlotte Flair, Alexa Bliss haven't been my cup of tea for quite some time. What Triple H is doing in a sense of telling a story and making them seem to care about the women's tag team champions, it goes to show that when the important people, the head honchos, the blondes that WWE tend to love, when
Only
they're
two right now, but again,
when when their eyes are so focused on the women's tag team champions, that helps the division. And that's the only praise I'll ever give the division is what Charlotte and Alexa Bliss are doing right now.
So really quickly, I'm just gonna the
I don't
tag
know. So
teams, the
that's
tag teams themselves. The stuff going on with the Judgment Day and Liv being out and Raquel Rodriguez and Roxanne Perez, I think is really good for the story of the Judgment Day and the overarching eventual obvious return of Liv Morgan to that. So what
Yeah.
Judgment Day is doing right now, phenomenal. We're going to talk about the other tag teams and not focus so much on them because we can do an entire podcast about Raquel and Roxanne. Sol
right.
Ruka and Zarya. Sol Ruka and Zarya is my favorite women's tag team in NXT for the sole fact of they are the Oddfellow tag team.
Yes,
Sol Ruka
that is
and
team. That is team.
they
Hell no.
have they have
Oh,
no
really?
reason. They have no reason to be in a tag team together.
Mm-hmm.
Sol Ruka is a gymnast, surfer girl that wears Vans. That's her gimmick. And Zarya is Delta. She is. If nobody knows who
Mm-hmm.
Zarya is, please go back. Look, she's like a strong woman. She's a murderer. She was a
She's a
ruthless
badass.
competitor
She's a
in
badass.
Australia, right?
Yes.
She was Australia. So she was just ruthless in Australia. Her final match leaving Australia was basically her beating the absolute shit out of her brother, real
Yep.
life.
Yep.
That
Like,
was her
and it
last
was
match.
it was legit. Like,
So polar opposites.
yes, yeah.
Complete polar opposites.
And again,
And
perfect yin
they,
and yang. Yin and
yep,
yang working together.
and they work together blissfully. Now,
Mm-hmm.
no pun intended, because that's about to come up. There was a spot in this match where Zarya was going for a spear on Alexa in the most ruthless way, because this is the most devilish I've ever seen Sol Ruka look in my life. Sol Ruka held Alexa's hands behind her back as she was lifting her up to move out of the way for Zarya's spear, which is also devilish. And Charlotte saves Alexa Bliss from the spear. Zarya spears Sol Ruka. It
Quick
looked
correction. Quick correction. It was a backstabber into a spear. But go ahead, continue.
yes, it looked crazy how Sol Ruka flew off of that spear,
Yeah.
One of the
and
best ways to take a spear.
that was intended for Alexa Bliss to take. And Charlotte came in at the last second, saving Alexa Bliss, furthering that story
Yeah.
because that's the Alexa Bliss Charlotte Flair story also goes back farther than what we're talking about right now. This goes back to Firefly Funhouse Alexa
And
Bliss.
I feel like this story is just starting. I feel like it's gonna be so deep in what they're gonna do with the storyline where I think it eventually ends with maybe Alexa finally joining the Y6, maybe not. Who knows?
As long as it happens in this calendar year.
Yeah,
Um,
I don't think this
I,
story
I don't think
goes.
this is gonna drag. This isn't gonna be one of those that'll drag.
I don't think it should be.
Um,
I don't think it should go farther than. Honestly, I don't think it should go farther than October.
I agree. I agree.
I think it should be. I think it should. I think it should end overall with a feud between Alexa Bliss and Charlotte. That the feud goes longer than this story goes.
Yes, like I feel like if you start that feud around Survivor Series and then you could carry it over into the Rumble, that's fine. That can work. That's not and it won't be too damning because it's two polarizing figures in Alexa and Charlotte. So I can deal with that. I can have them do like whatever that whole whatever person A turns on person B is just MIA for about a month, comes back and does the whole return thing, and boom, you can do that. That works in this kind of situation. It kind of fits that same realm, especially these two athletes not being consistent in the ring over the last calendar year. Now finally getting back into the run, getting back into the flow. So yeah,
And
I'm
and
not mad at that at all.
I also don't want to take away anything from the Kabuki Warriors,
Yes, I was gonna
Asuka
get into them.
and Kyrie.
I mean,
Um,
they're just great.
they're phenomenal.
I feel like that is we talk about safety nets all the time. Those are two like you put them in any match, you're gonna get a fun match, man. Whether they're against
Kairi
each other or
Sane,
whether they're fighting two other people.
Kairi Sane, for as tiny as she is, does some crazy stuff to herself.
Yeah, Kairi Sane does not get enough appreciation as she does. She is
She does not care
as
about her body at all.
yes. Jumping into match number 4 in the night, which was your nostalgia match, you had Tiffany Stratton and defeating Trish Stratus. Who, dude, Trish Stratus is what, 50? Almost 50, 45,
Damn
50 years
near.
old?
Yep.
Bro,
She's
and she's
49.
still killing it.
20, 25 years.
Yeah, she's
She's
49 years
killing
old.
it, dude. She's
Yep.
killing it. And like still, and I'm watching, I'm
Yeah,
like, bro,
she's
and
gotten
again,
she's gotten better with age. I feel like she's putting on
yes.
better matches. Well, now
Yes,
she
I
has the
agree.
talent. Now she has the talent to go
Yes.
against to get a
Yes.
good match out of her. But now I
I
feel like
agree.
she's putting out better matches.
I was a big I hated her last run. I'm gonna be honest with that. That whole
Hmm.
Lita tag team thing. I just felt like it looked and it felt like a cry for help, I should say. Lita just completely lost it. Like she just doesn't have it anymore, and it's fortunate because obviously everybody loved
So,
Lita.
so you didn't like
But
Trish as a heel with Zoe Stark?
I'm not saying that. I'm talking about just the wrestling alone. The wrestling alone just wasn't it. It wasn't what I wanted. It wasn't what I expected. But again, this run now, and again, she even said it. She was, you never know in this business. You never close the door, dude. I'm down for if Trisha's gonna give me a one-off every single year, and a one-off is gonna be this good every single year. I'm cool with it. It's gonna make sense, and especially in a women's division and it's no shame to say it doesn't have that much history. A lot of the women's division, well, a lot of women's wrestling history that a lot of people kind of more so care about. And as horrible as that sounds, no disrespect to the past, it's like now you're now seeing women's wrestling now.
Hmm.
In over the last 10 years, this is women's wrestling. This is what the women from the 30, 25 years ago fought for. And you're finally getting your TV time, and Evolution showed it right there. And look, like this is what you want to see. Now she's actually competing against athletes. She's competing against people who love the business, people who care about the business, not people who came into the business because they were paid just to be hot and learn how to take a bump or two and learn how to take a clothesline and take somebody's underwear off. Like, you know what I
Fight
mean?
like a
Like this
diva.
is yeah, like
Ava.
this is
Yeah.
you're fighting like a warrior now, and this is awesome. This is cool to see. So seeing Trisha being able to come back every single year and still put on decent enough matches where they are watchable. It's like, whoa, like, and again, this last match was awesome.
And in 2025, she's putting on good matches, and I think she's good on the mic. Trisha's not bad on the mic.
Trisha's
And
never
then
been better on the mic.
and then 2 years ago when she turned on Becky, or was out last year when she was a heel with Zoe Stark,
Yeah,
I loved it when
yeah,
she worked Money in the Bank. Like she can work, man. I wouldn't mind her. I would rather her on weekly television than Nikki Bella. You know what I'm saying? So
that I can 100% agree with.
I wouldn't
And
mind
again,
it.
I,
We'll get in.
I can say, yeah, I can save that. I can save it for another episode.
We'll get
Um,
into that. But
just to just to end there. Go ahead, Derek. I'm sorry.
I everybody will understand my affinity for Tiffany Stratton over the course of this entire thing. Tiffany Stratton is a phenomenal athlete who's getting better every time that we see her, and she's getting shoved down our throats to an extent, but it's stopped recently. When she first cashed in the Money in the Bank, after that for the following weeks, it was Tiffany Stratton, Tiffany Stratton, Tiffany Stratton, Tiffany Stratton. Now it's starting to go down a little bit. This is exactly where she needs to be with this title.
Mm-hmm.
She needs
Mm-hmm.
to be enough to be relevant,
Mm-hmm.
but she needs to not be enough to make me sick of her,
I agree.
because her work is getting really good.
I
If they
saw a
keep
tweet.
her,
I
if they
saw a
keep
tweet
her
that said
at
her
this
whole
pace,
yes.
if they keep her at this pace, she is going to be a big player for years to come. This is just the first time that she's held the title.
Yeah.
This is her
Ye-
first title run.
This
I,
is listen. This is her first
I'm
lengthy
going
title run.
to I'm going to be honest with you. I agree with most things that you said, but I think the only reason why we would get tired of the overexposure is because she's a horrible babyface.
I agree.
I think
I
if she
agree.
was a heel and she was pushed the same way she was pushed soon after she cashed Money in the Bank,
Yes.
I wouldn't mind it at all.
Now you don't know what she did in NXT.
I have an idea. I caught some clips and glimpses of it.
if they can evolve her NXT persona and put that into WWE the way that it is currently,
Perfect.
she's going to the moon. She's
Yeah,
going to the
Yeah.
moon.
yeah, I agree.
But
Uh,
that's
the
Trish is
last,
Trish.
yeah,
Trish
last
is
point
Trish.
on this, I saw a tweet that said, Tiffany Stratton's moveset should just be a bunch of 2005 ROH finishers after she hit the end of Heartache. So, I mean, like, it's one of those things where, dude, like this, I, she, I don't even think Trish Stratus knew what was coming when
Oh
those two
man.
knees came up and the way Trish took that bump, it was like, oh shit,
Oh
what is going on?
man.
Um,
Way
just
different, way different than
That's
wrestling
hilarious.
Stacy Keibler, Trish.
That is
jumping in,
wild.
jumped
All
into
right.
match 5 of 7 of the night, which is, I mean, we can say this could be a big deal. This could set up what could be a match in the next big major pay-per-view. Match 5 was Jade Cargill defeating Naomi by pinfall. It says by pinfall here. It's not by pinfall. It was no. Oh yeah, it was no. It was by match. I lied. I'm sorry. By pinfall.
Okay.
Again, with Bianca Belair being a special guest referee. Obviously, this finally ended this weird little love triangle between the three of them that kind of started and then stopped and then started and then stopped.
Did it
Um,
though?
it looked
The
slow.
way Bianca
It's
held Jade's hand, she looked
This
like she
is
didn't want to hold her hand.
Yeah, this
it's
is one of those. This is one of those storylines that I really feel can be consistent
yes.
over years.
Yes, I agree. I feel like if they really
It
want to
goes away and
capitalize
they
on
come
this,
back,
yeah, if they
kind of like Roman and Seth.
yeah, in the sense where I feel like if and this could be just them trying to right their wrongs. This should have been how your big three out of the four horsewomen should have been booked. Your Becky, your Sasha, and your Charlotte in a triple threat match. I feel like
Bianca
if they would have,
Bianca should
huh?
have turned.
I feel like it's too early. I feel like that'll come down the line.
Too
Too
early.
early.
Too early.
Yeah, yes.
What are
Look,
you
'cause
saying?
first of all, Bianca Belair's been on her own for how long now? She's been by
Months.
herself. Exactly. It's one of those, and she's barely been on TV. Took a month off. She came back to be a special guest referee. I feel like it's too early because we don't know what's going on in this storyline. Because if that's the case, then who technically is the bad guy in this? If Bianca's gonna turn heel, where does that leave? Where does that, especially now, where does that leave Naomi? Where does that leave Naomi? Bianca,
She's gonna do something later on tonight.
okay, cool. Bianca
Naomi
turns heel.
cashing
Bianca
in.
and Jade.
Naomi
Start
cashing.
Bianca and Jade. That's what everybody wanted.
Yeah.
Everybody wanted that from the
Okay,
get.
all right. So you let then I feel like cool. Yes, you're doing that. If are you making Jade win that match still?
Let's run the
And
Turn
story first.
or just turn after. Turn after the match.
so you're making Bianca turn heel, and then that's gonna overshadow Naomi's whole point of turning heel. What is Bianca turning heel for? Let's use a deductive reasoning here. What is Bianca turning heel for?
We would have to wait and see.
Bianca was a really good heel.
I
Yeah.
understand that. Yes, they're not going to turn somebody heel for the sake of them being a really good heel. Do you need to have your reasonings here? If you've noticed, every single Triple H heel turn started off with Kevin Owens. Every heel turn has been justified and has had reason.
Okay. So all right. So just have Jade beat Tiffany, and then have Bianca get jealous and turn on her at SummerSlam.
But where does that fall into their where does that help Bianca? Like where does that put Bianca? How does
Jealousy
Bianca become jealous? How?
that she's a champion.
That's not Bianca's realm. That's not Bianca's like niche. That's not her character development. That's not how she is.
As a babyface, it's not. But we have to see.
But
So
even as a heel,
just
even
because
as a heel, that wasn't
doesn't
Bianca as a
mean
heel.
it doesn't mean that people can't change, man. People can change. People can change.
Yeah,
Just because that wasn't
yeah.
her character, that wasn't
Okay.
what she believed in, it doesn't matter. She
You
can
need
change.
reasoning. You always need reasoning. You always
Yo,
need your
your
reasoning.
best friend, your best friend winning a championship after you basically you worked her into this business, her winning a championship before you can while she was there. I think that's enough of a reason.
But Bianca's won the title already.
I'm saying a singles championship since Jade has joined. Bianca hasn't won anything. Wow, I brought you into this business and then you won a title before me, like while you were here.
All right, but again, that's how are you going to blame Bianca on that? If we're gonna be honest, Jade earned that title match. She earned that championship.
To a heel,
You
nobody has earned anything. You're
what does
just
that
a,
mean?
you think Bianca's gonna care if Jade deserved it? She's gonna probably feel that she deserved it more because she's the EST. It's just that simple. You don't.
She had her chance at Mania.
All right.
You know what I'm saying? Like there's you need every Triple H heel turn has had reasoning. There's no
Okay.
reasoning in that heel turn. That's my personal opinion. And
Besides
again,
Cena's.
yeah, whatever. I'm going to go match. It's in match six. That battle royal. Battle royal was pretty fun. I mean, we all kind of had an idea as to who the final four would be, minus Lash Legend. I mean, Lash Legend. We could all say that Lash Legend surprised all of us here.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
I feel like that was just real fun there. Stephanie Melkerd obviously stealing the show along with Lash Legend in the last 10 minutes of the entire match. But Stephanie Melkerd with her bouncy bouncy, um, Devil's Kiss, whatever she's calling it. I forget what it's called. But it's we've mentioned her before in the episode. We'll talk about her in the very next episodes and probably again in the next 5-10 minutes. But Stephanie Melkerd is the future of women's wrestling, not only in WWE but in business in general.
She's the
Um,
future and the present.
So
yes,
really, really quickly, I just want to point out the importance again of the NXT developmental system and what they're doing down there with the women. You had Lash Legend, you had Jada Parker, you had Kalani Jordan, Tatum Paxley, Lola Vice, Izzy Dame. Who am I missing?
Max, might have been all of them.
There were 10.
You Tatum, Izzy, Ivy Nunn, Ivy Nunn is not one of them. Jada Parker, Kehlani Jordan,
Those are just the ones that I can remember off the top of my head.
Lola Vi. I think you hit all of them.
What NXT is doing with their women's division is it's a beautiful thing to see because you have a lot of these women who are coming off of this NIL deal and they're turning them into wrestlers, which
Yeah.
is you have Lash Legend who is in the WNBA, am I correct?
hmm hmm
Incredible. You have Jada Parker, former soccer star in
At
college,
LSU.
phenomenal. You
hmm
have Kalani Jordan, who I believe was a gymnast,
hmm
who's crazy. Um, Lola Vice, who's a former MMA.
Lola Vice could have had a legitimate successful UFC career if she chose to go to the UFC and she
Yeah,
chose WWE.
yeah. Um, a lot of these women are just superstars outright, getting up in the
hmm
morning.
hmm
But then you put on that they can actually put on a really good match. It's crazy. And then you implement them into a battle royal with the top women in your company,
hmm
and they don't miss a beat. This is what happens when TKO is not a part of what's going on.
They had no influence on that pay per
This is
view,
what
by the way.
happens.
I refuse to believe they had any influence on that entire pay per view.
I agree. Just and to piggyback
PLE.
off of that, to piggyback off of that, I mean, we can probably all put two and two together and say that this was probably it probably wasn't a high selling paper or ticket sale. Like I feel like these tickets you probably could have gotten tickets at a decent rate, and the crowd was electric. So that just shows another sense of the business right there of stop trying to outprice your diehard fans for people that just want to see a show. Like these people are genuinely invested into the product. These
Yeah,
people are invested into what's going on. Like
yeah,
let them like have affordable seats.
yeah.
Um, we're we're gonna you get there, Derek?
It's not a
All
podcast
right, now
unless
we're
something
good.
goes wrong.
Yeah, but wait. Before we,
Derek, please fix your audio.
Derek, come on, man.
There we go.
I still hear it. I still hear it, dude.
There's a massive echo.
I would prefer Derek to just turn his mic off permanently, but I think that's me asking for too much, right? Are we good? Okay.
He muted himself. Go ahead.
Okay. So before we segue into the main event, if that was the plan, shout out to the greatest women seller of all time, Chelsea Green, who once again I assumed she fucking died when she took the devil's kiss into what I forgot what move followed. I forgot who hit her with what. But I thought she died, and then she got tossed over the ropes. Chelsea Green, I need her. I still hear myself, Derek.
I,
No, you're good. You're good.
You sure?
No, you're good. You're good. You're good.
Okay. Chelsea Green needs to win the big one eventually.
It'll happen.
I need her to win the big one.
I think that's your Royal Rumble winner next year.
I would love that.
I think it's just if it's not her, like it'll be one of like the big three we mentioned earlier, as far as Julia, Stephanie, or Jordan Grace. Um, I feel like there was really not much else notable about the Women's Battle Royal. Like I said, it was kind of I don't want to say predictable, but
It was. We knew Steph was
we knew
winning.
what was going to happen in a sense. Um, Now on to the main event, which I can probably talk about for hours, and I feel like we all could talk about for hours here. Is arguably one of the best women's singles matches up until the 25th minute of the match. Rhea versus Io, which, boy, by all counts, I mean, you have so much history between those two women alone in about an 8-year span. And they might have had maybe a handful of matches. May Young Classic, Io winning there. You have your NXT Women's Triple Threat match against Charlotte Flair involved, where, again, guess who takes the
Rhea
pin?
took
Rhea Ripley.
Rhea. Yeah.
You had the go home show or the whatever 2 weeks before WrestleMania.
Io.
Who takes the pin? Io beating Rhea Ripley again. So this was Rhea finally saying like, I'm getting my get back, like I'm getting my title back, and everybody's gonna complain. Oh, Rhea is always in the spotlight. Rhea's always this. Rhea's always that. He has gone out there week in, week out. It can be against the greatest wrestler in the world. It can be against the worst wrestler in the world. And Rhea Ripley is not only making herself look good, but she's making them look good.
Yeah.
If we're gonna be honest, she had a match against Tozawa about a year ago, where it was WWE's introduction of like a mixed gender intergender match, and did Tozawa get any offense in other than a few grapples and a few reversals? No, but those few grapples and those few reversals, Rhea was like, "Oh shit, like this is a competitor," you know. And listen, we're not gonna talk shit about Tozawa because before Tozawa came over to WWE, he was probably the best wrestler in Japan. So, um, dude, just Rhea and Io together, just that's magic. That's always magic, and that's what you want. That's your for other sport fans out there. That's your Jordan versus LeBron almost. That's like your closest thing you're gonna get to your goat versus your goat. Your Messi's versus Ronaldo. Your whatever. Your Otani versus Trout. Yeah, like this is what you're getting.
that's factual. I agree with that 100%. The thing about Rhea is she doesn't do anything without a purpose to it.
Yes.
And that's a big deal in wrestling period, not just women's wrestling, but wrestling period. Throwing on to the fact that, she just consistently has good match after good match after good match where she's comfortable enough with how she wrestles where she can fall down and look weak. But does she really look weak when she falls down?
Nah.
She hasn't had a match since being in WWE that she's looked out of it. Like
Hmm.
she's not like she doesn't have a chance.
Hmm.
Her and Nia Jax
Mm-hmm.
she didn't look like she didn't look
I
like
agree.
she could have lost that match. But consistently she's lost to Io. That's the story behind the entire match. That's the storyline. Um a very, very small, subtle storyline to it, but it has such length that you forget. Like when they on commentary, they keep on pushing this fact that Rhea's never beat Io, and the first time that I heard it, I was like,
Oh
"Really?
shit. Yeah. Right.
Like
Like it was one of
seriously?
those things
Like
you had to
that's
think. You're like,
good.
wait,
That's
really? Yeah.
good storytelling."
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
when I don't have to, when I sit there and somebody says something and I'm like, you,
Really?
you
Yeah.
serious? Like that's where that's a storyline that's a long term storyline that I don't mind because it's
Mhm.
in the background. That's a good story. It doesn't always need to be something super relevant, but it's something that you think about
Uh-huh.
and you get invested
Mhm.
in. And it's I wouldn't go beyond to say it could Rhea could never beat Io, and I'd be okay with it.
Yes.
Mhm.
Rhea could beat Io, and guess what?
Yeah.
I'd be okay with it. It's a good story. Um, but then Rhea sells on point, Io sells on point, Rhea's moveset on point, Io's moveset on point. They
They mesh
do.
so well.
They have such ridiculous chemistry
It's
that
awesome.
it's almost insulting to me as a
I
human
agree.
being to have such good
My
chemistry with somebody.
I got a question now. This is directed towards Anthony, and we'll end this topic here and head to the close. Um, there's no secret you're never a big Naomi fan. Naomi cashing in. Naomi basically pulling the heist of the century 2.0. If you want to make that argument here, because that's probably the closest comparison.
It is.
Where do you see Naomi in this realm now, and what's next for Naomi?
What's next for Naomi? That's a good question. As you know, I'm one that believes WWE is all about the moment, all about the big title change, heel turn, like I said, moment, but don't know what to do after. So in this instance, what I think is going to happen is, to be honest with you, this is another instance in which I want to wait and see. I have no speculation. I don't care too much about Naomi as a character right now to even think to like form any ideas or predictions. I think it's hard, man, because like I said, WWE caught me by surprise with that ending. It was
Hmm.
all going to be about her cashing in on Jade or Tiffany. So, like I said, this is an instance in which Bravo Hunter, you caught me off guard. I don't know what's happening next. What I would like for Naomi to do, and I'm not sure if this is asking for too much, I like to proceed with caution. But does she really need to wear the same gear every time with the caution tape? It
In
kind of
this,
drives me crazy. I'm just like, okay, I get
I
it. Proceed with.
think,
I see it
yeah,
on the Titantron. I see it everywhere. I just mean nitpicking, like you say, I like to do. But in the sense of her as a heel, her as like with her character work, I like what I'm seeing. As of right now, though, I don't care enough to even come up with an idea on what's next. I'm just gonna wait and see.
all right, all right, boys. Real quick, 30 seconds each. What can our audience expect from each of you? Derek, you go first.
A lot of hot takes, a lot of Stephanie Vakir standing, a lot of uh, a lot of reactions to Anthony's unbelievable rants that just go for hours. Um, Sometimes, if you were in the group chat, you'd understand what I mean. But that's me.
Your turn, bud. What do we, as an audience, what is the audience going to expect out of Anthony?
From from what you
Bullshit.
guys from what you guys heard from Derek, listen, man, I don't rant as much. I only rant when it needs to happen. I keep it real. I hold nothing back. Uh, I'm probably the biggest Kurt Angle fan you're ever going to meet, by the way. Surprised that we almost went an hour and he wasn't brought up, but now he is.
There it is.
Yeah, there it is. There it is. But hey, man, listen. I've been a fan my entire life. When shit's not going right, you're gonna hear it from me, and when shit's going right, you're gonna hear it from me. So, yeah, rants incoming. Beware.
Yeah,
Proceed with caution.
ju- just a quick little recap of at least what our vision is, and I can speak for the three of us here. Is we want to give our audience wrestling wrestling predictions and wrestling thoughts and wrestling ideas that a lot of us all agree with. We want to be the voice of the real fan. We want to be the voice of people who care about the business and fantasize about the business and fantasy book in your head and just you want to be able to put it out there and make it make sense and have conversations about it. So, we're gonna do our best job in not only giving you guys weekly podcasts, but just giving you guys content in general. You're gonna have games, you're gonna have little games we're gonna play, little stupid skits and shit we're gonna have. We're gonna have a bunch of different ideas and a bunch of different segments we're gonna implement in some other episodes of podcasts. We're gonna have some episodes of just us shooting the shit. It'll be us episodes of us recapping big events. You're gonna get a lot of breaking news from us whenever we get the chance. We're gonna try and get some up and coming wrestlers on the show. We're gonna try and get some established wrestlers on the show. So just a quick little synopsis of us. We're gonna do whatever we can to not only give you guys content you guys want to see, but content you guys can also relate to. So that's gonna be what we're gonna do here at Book and Finish, and we're all excited about it. We've probably been talking about doing this again for 3 months. So what's up, Derek?
And overall, we just want to have fun with this.
Yeah,
We love
yeah,
talking about wrestling. We love fantasy booking. We love dissecting what's going on. We just want to do this the right way and have fun while we're doing it. So if
yep.
you guys ride with us with that, feel free to come aboard. If you don't, you don't. We understand that. We respect you and thank you so much.
That being said, this has been the first official episode of
Yes, sir.
the new realm. This is Book the Finish. We appreciate you guys. Like, comment, subscribe. We're gonna put our socials in the description. We're gonna figure out a real true ending soon. But for the meantime, we'll see you guys soon, and we appreciate you.